Hey, and welcome to Unlearning Stress, the podcast where we break the rules and cycles that keep you overcommitted, overstretched, and just plain exhausted, and replace them with something better. No fluff, no guilt, just real talk, real solutions, and expert insights to help you shift the way you live. Whether you're here for the first time or you've been with me for a while, you're in the right place. I'm Michelle O'Neill, your resident emotional wellness coach, and I'm here to help you unlearn the patterns that are wearing you down so you can live with more ease, clarity, and control. Let's get to it. I want to give you a scenario here before I start. Just think about the fact that you finally settled in for the evening. The house is quiet. You're laid out flat. I mean, totally exhausted because your body is done. It is just over. And you're that kind of tired where your limbs feel heavy and you think just bone tired. And you think to yourself, "Whew, I'm just going to sleep now. I just need to get to sleep." And you actually maybe even drift off for a minute, just a little bit, and you feel like you're in a heavy, deep sleep, right? And then all of a sudden, your eyes open and you're wide awake because then your brain gets up and it starts sprinting, even when your body says, lay still. Did I just remind you of something? Has this ever happened to you? You start thinking, did I call them back? Did I make that call I was supposed to make? Did I check that email, make sure that I sent it or at least set it up to send? Oh gosh, and I still need to. And now that you're staring at the ceiling, wide awake, you close your eyes and you try to make yourself fall back to sleep because you know how tired you are. And because the weight of tomorrow starts laying on your chest and feeling heavy, you just can't. You can't fall back asleep. Or maybe you didn't even get that far. You didn't even get to the bed, right? Maybe you just plop down on the couch. I'm done. I'm just going to sit here. Have you ever been there? And you just drop. It's not even a sit. You just drop. You're like, oh, I'm done. Because you're just that kind of tired. The kind that says, I'm through. I just can't go any further. I can't do anything else. But before you can even exhale, the thoughts start again. Who needs me? Oh, did I forget this? What didn't I finish? What have I forgotten? I know it's something that I was supposed to do, and I haven't done it yet. And your body has clocked out, but your brain is still clocked in. Look, that's what this live is about. And that's why I want to just start it right off front so you know exactly what I'm talking about. That moment when you're always on for everybody else, but you've disappeared from your own life. When being available becomes the proof that you care, not only for others, but for yourself. That's your proof. That's how people know or how they feel that you care because that's how you've always presented yourself, right? And so it's when saying that I'm tired actually feels like somehow that you're failing somebody, that it's a weakness, that you're a strong one, that you shouldn't be so tired. Or when you turn your phone off and it feels like some type of betrayal, like somehow you've let your peeps down and they can't count on you anymore. Does it sound familiar? Does that sound like you? Something that you're experienced or have experienced even now or in the past? And the thing is, I'm not here to play with you today. We're not here to play today. We're here to be honest, to look at what this constant on has done to our spirit, to our ability to rest, and to our ability to feel like that we matter outside of what we do. Because now we've placed our worth and how we show up for others, how we're there for others. And so if you're exhausted right now, but you're still checking in, and I mean, even right now, this morning or this afternoon now, before we've even really got into our day, you're already tired, already exhausted, thinking about all the things that you need to do. This live right now is for you. And most of us didn't wake up one day and decide that, oh my gosh, we're always on. We were raised into it. And I want you to hear this. From the time that we were little girls, we were taught that love looks like doing, care looks like sacrifice. How many times have we been proud of our mom and talked about how the sacrifices that she made to make sure we had food on the table, make sure our clothes were ironed and that we looked good going to school, make sure that she was there when we needed to talk to her. Value that we've learned looks like being needed. Care looks like sacrifice. And we bought into this. That was our model. That is how we learned as little girls how to grow up and be strong women. Think about it. Our first toy. I know I've said this before, but our first toys for most little girls was a baby doll. What did we do with them? We fed them. We nurtured them. We changed their diapers. We made sure their clothes were changed. We held them. We gave them love. We talked to them. We learned to love by tending. We learned to prove love by doing. But stepping in and by making things better for them and making sure that they didn't have to deal with the things or the pains or the struggles that we had to. And it just didn't stay at home. You built your whole reputation on being dependable at work, at church, around your friends, in your cycles, for your family, and everything we did. You became the one who delivers, who leads, who steps in. And you're proud of that. I know I am. I like that people can depend on me. But I've learned something about that as well. Over time, it stopped being just strength and started becoming the only way that maybe you felt secure. Now, saying no feels, well, uncomfortable, risky, sometimes just plain selfish. Rest feels like I'm falling behind. I've got too much to do to stop, to rest. I'll do that later, but you won't. And being unavailable feels like, well, you're letting someone down. You're not just tired from task, you're tired from proving, from earning, from holding everything together. Also, they don't forget your value, how important you are. And that's sad, isn't it? It worked. They do count on you. They do need you. But now you don't know how to stop without feeling like you'll disappear. Like if you stop, you won't be needed. They won't notice you. They won't call you. This isn't just about being busy. It's about who you learned to be. From that early age, most of us were taught that love looks like service and value looks like doing. So we didn't just grow up helpful. We grew up proving. And your patience now, that cost is wearing thin. You're irritated with others who don't step up or step in. And you're frustrated that no one else seems to be able to anticipate, to prepare, or follow through. They always look for you because you're always there and they know that you're going to make things happen. And that silent resentment that you feel continues to build underneath all your doing. And the deeper thing about the cost to you is that it starts breaking down our spirit. You keep doing because you believe you have to. There's no room to want anything different because just getting through has replaced your own desires, what you want, what you feel is important to you. I'll get to that later. How many times have you said that to yourself? You don't even recognize your own needs anymore because you're so busy paying attention to everybody else's. And your wants feel selfish and really unnecessary. Do you really need that? Can you let that go? You've done this long without it. You can go longer, right? And that fatigue that you feel isn't just tiredness, it becomes a shutdown. How many times have you gone through a shutdown? You notice things like, well, memory lapse. Simple words that used to be there, your mind is already shooting and firing to the next thing that you can't even think of that word that you need. You feel muscle tension in your back, in your neck, in your head. Those are burnout symptoms. This is your body raising a red flag. And have you noticed that your fuse is getting shorter now? And who catches the brunt of that? Your partner, your kids, your coworkers, your friends. Maybe you don't even make those calls anymore because you know how you feel. And you know just the wrong phrase, just the wrong thing will set you off. Maybe you stop going and talking to your coworkers like you used to because you just don't have the bandwidth. When's the last time? Let me know in the comments. When's the last time you wanted something just for you and you let yourself have it without guilt? And look, I am not talking about a piece of chocolate, even though that feels good sometimes. What is your body trying to tell you that you've been ignoring? This that we're talking about today isn't just about tiredness. This is about the slow unraveling of self. Not all at once, Because if that was the case, wouldn't we do something about it? We're the fixer, the overachiever, the one who's always there and who steps in. So if that was the case, wouldn't we already do something about it? But it's been happening slowly over time. And because we don't call it out, we start to normalize it. It's just the way things are. Bad English. But let me ask you something. Have you ever realized how the things people say you're so good at that they've somehow turned into who you are or your job or what's expected for you? All that praise for that thing that you do great has now become a chain around your ankle. Like you didn't even apply for that job, but now you're expected to show up just like that every time, every day. And you know exactly what I mean. What about they told you, girl, you make the best mac and cheese. And now every cookout, you're the one that brings it, whether you want to or not, because it's that thing they ask you to do because you're so good at it, right? And they say, maybe you're always so calm when stuff is going on in a crisis. And so now you're that default therapist. Or what about they compliment you on how your house always is, how clean it is, how organized it is. And now you can't even relax if a throw pillow is out of place or if you haven't did the chop thing in the middle so it gives that perfect V. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Or at work, they tell you that you're the one we can count on. We know you'll pull us through, that you'll make it happen, that you'll see things or come with this perspective that we haven't even thought about. And now you're the one that's answering emails at 9 p.m., even though nobody asked you to, because that's the role that you've settled into, that you identify with. And the thing is, you didn't do it for the praise. You really didn't. But somewhere along the way, that praise became a contract that you signed with your life, with your life's breath. And you've been honoring it, even when you're depleted, when you're tired. When did the compliment turn into a commitment? When did you're so good at that become you have been, or that you have to keep doing it? You didn't mean for that praise to become your prison, your chain. But here you are, doing it, proving it, keeping it all together. Because if you don't, who will? And that's what we need to talk about next. I hope somewhere in there, something sparked for you. Because when you keep living like this, when praise turns into pressure, it doesn't just wear your body out. Like I said, it wears down your spirit. This isn't just about overdoing, it's about real cost and disconnection, the isolation, the loss of who you are beyond what you do. So what happens when you become what everyone expects you? You're so good at it. It becomes your job description. You become their go-to. You don't even ask if you want to do it anymore. It just feels like it's who you are and what you need to do now. And slowly, piece by piece, you lose the full picture of yourself. The you don't show them, the real you becomes invisible. You start feeling disconnected, not just from others, but from yourself. It's hard to connect when people don't even see you for who you are, or they don't even want to know that part of you. And if they've only ever praised you for that strong, capable version, maybe they really don't want to know that other side of you. And the moments that you try to show that other side, they say, "Well, what's wrong with you today? Are you okay?" Or worse, they just ignore that part and go on talking about what their problem is, what they want to get out, what they're talking about, right? So you retreat. They don't want to know who I am. They don't even want to hear what I have to say. So you hide that part. And the gap between how you feel and how they see you, it grows. That chasm becomes deeper. And you're praised for your strength, but it becomes a barrier. They love what you do, but they miss who you are. And after a while, even you start to wonder, do they even know me? What about, do I even know me? So I need to hear from you. I've been talking, I've been sharing, but I really need to hear from you. How many of you have ever tried to let someone see a different side of you and they acted like something was wrong with you, that they weren't ready for that? Or really, that they really didn't care, that it was all about them? Have you ever felt like people love what you do, but really don't know who you are? What's one part of you that rarely gets seen, but is so real and you're tired of hiding? Let's talk about what's it really costing you. And I'm not talking about your time, but your peace, your presence, your joy. What has always been on, always available, really taken from you? Maybe it started small. You skipped that walk that used to make you feel good, but now you have so much to do that you don't have time. Or you dropped writing in your journal, something that used to make you feel so connected to yourself, that you used to love, but you don't have time for me anymore. Or you stopped calling your best friend. You told yourself you'll get to it later. And so now what they started doing is doing things without you because they know you don't have time or you're not going to show up or you're going to say no. You've trained them on how to treat you. But now you can't even remember the last time that you did something just because you enjoyed it, not to help, not to check a box, but just to feel alive again. You've learned how to meet everybody else's needs. But when was the last time someone asked, "What do you need? What can I do for you?" And you had an answer for them without the guilt. I need you to just sit here with me and listen. I need you to know me. And yes, you know what? The real cost is your daughter or your son may have been watching and learning, especially your daughter, that what love means is exhaustion. And know that your sons are watching that too. And they're learning what to expect. We are teaching them about what women are for, right? They were supposed to stretch and bend, but you're teaching her to break for everyone else. What kind of legacy are we handing them? And is that really what you want them to pass on, to remember about you? What's something that, and I want your answer, what's something that you used to love that just disappeared from your life? What was it? Do you ever feel like the version of yourself people love is only the one that shows up and performs, not the one that also rests? When's the last time that you did something just for fun, even with others? When's the last time you went to a park with one of your kids and not pushed them on the swing, but got on the swing with them? You on one, you're on the other, and just saw how high you can go with the wind blowing in your face. When's the last time you did that? Look, this story doesn't have to end the way it's been going. There's a different way to live. You don't have to run yourself into the ground just to feel worthy. You don't have to say yes to everything just to feel loved. You can start asking different questions. You can start writing a new story. At work, what if you didn't have to jump on every email, every Slack, every fire drill to prove your value? At home, what if you could actually sit down after dinner and not feel guilty, not reach for a dish, not do the dishes, not run a load of laundry, just be with the people you love? It would shock them, right? If you're in your community, what if you could say no to an event that you've always helped with and allowed somebody else to step up that committee, that obligation, and still be respected and cared for and loved? What if you felt peace, not just when everyone else was taken care of, but when you were? You've been taught that love looks like always doing. But what if if love could also be just rest, like boundaries, like breathing room? What if your life could start to reflect that? Before we go, let's practice something right now. You'd be amazed at what this one simple thing could do for you. And it helps bring your body online, especially when your nervous system feels like it's constantly being hijacked. And it's fun. So, this may sound like something really simple, too simple, in fact, but I want you to stay with me here. I want you to go through this with me. I want you to take a breath in through your nose. And no, this isn't a normal breathing exercise. So don't clock out on me. I want you to breathe through your nose, nothing deep, just enough, because you're going to need that air. And then as you exhale, I want you to hum. You can hum a little tune to yourself if you want to, but I want a deep hum, one that you really mean. Just that simple, the one that you feel vibrating right here in your chest, right here in your throat, not here in this cavity, but in your chest, in your throat. And I want you to do that as you exhale. And that's your vagus nerve, not Las Vegas, but VAGUS. That's your vagus nerve lighting up. That vibration in your nervous system, your nervous system is actually getting a signal that it's safe to come out of fight or flight. You may feel silly. And I tell you, it took a lot for me to get on here and do this for you because I'm like, they think I'm crazy. And you might want to rush it. But I want you to really notice how your body responds. You feel like, you see how I perked up a little bit? There's something about it. And if you're like me, like I said, move while you're doing it. Rock a little, sway with it side to side. That's fine too. Let your body do what it needs. So do it with me now. One more time. Inhale and hum. Sing a little song. Inhale, hum till you can't hum any longer. Now take one more breath, one more time, and inhale. And now hum as long as you have that breath. That's it. That's all. But it's not small. What you just did sends a message to your entire system that you don't have to be on right now. It tells your body we're safe. And sometimes that's the loudest truth that you can speak. That one moment, it matters more than you think. So now, not when everything slows down, not when the world gets loud and starts to give you permission. Right now, right in the middle of it all, this is where you begin again. Hum. Take a breath and hum. So this week, I want you to practice just this one thing. Hum. Take a breath and hum. It'll make you smile. And it's one moment that reminds your body that you're safe. One hum that settles your breath. One small shift that says, I don't have to keep going like this. And listen, if this resonates, if this is stirring something in you, just know I'm creating something just for you. A space where we can practice this together with the kind of real support and rhythms that you've been missing. Where you can gather together with others who are experiencing some of the same struggles and challenges that you are. And it's not open yet, but be on the lookout. I'll share more about it with you soon, and you're going to want to be a part of it. Just to hum a song with me. This isn't just something to hear. This is something to live. Until next time, I know it was a little long, but I wanted to really take this time with you. I want you to take care. Breathe. Hum. Bye-bye. If this episode hits home, don't just push it aside. Lean into it. Subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And connect with me on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Substack, where we go even deeper. Links will be in the comments. And if you're ready to start unlearning the patterns that keep you stuck, keep listening, because real change happens one choice at a time. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.